Here's my audience. Okay, I would like you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine you wake up tomorrow. Instead of going to the bathroom normally, your stool now comes from an opening on your belly. So that opening has a special name. It's called stoma. The procedure for create that opening is called ostomy. In healthcare, we use stoma and ostomy interchangeably. According to Berger, Stocks, and colleagues in article in 2022 published in Journal of Wound Ostomy and Continence Nursing, around 725,000 to 1 million people in the United States are living with an ostomy. So that's roughly 1 out of every 335 people have an ostomy. We can't really tell if people around us have an ostomy or not because it's hidden under the clothing. So today I would like to share something I wish everybody knew about ostomy. I'm an LVN and I've worked in an outpatient ostomy and wound center for over 2 years. I provide direct patient care for people with ostomy, so I see them regularly. And in my speech today, I would like to briefly explain what our GI tract looks like, and I'll explain what an ostomy is and why people need it and how people live with it. So let's take a look at what our GI tract looks like. So basically, it looks like, imagine it's like a long hose that starts at the mouth and ends at the anus. So when we eat our food travels down through the esophagus and enter the stomach. Then in the stomach, it's broken down. Then the content travels further down to the small intestine. The small intestine break down carbohydrate, protein, and fats. In the small intestine, the digestion is still happening, so the content is more liquid. Then it goes down. The content goes down further to our large intestine. The main responsibility for our large intestine is to absorb water. So the content in the large intestine is more formed like a paste. So that's why the stool coming out from our anus is more formed. And the bacteria in the large intestine also help break down the food further. And that's the reason why our stool has an odor. So now we know what our GI tract looks like. So what happens when people's GI tract and their intestine cannot function normally? So in that case, we need to create another route for the stool to be passed out. So according to Lori Corona's article published in United Ostomy Associations of America in 2024, quote, "The creation of an ostomy is a surgical procedure performed when the person has lost function of the bladder or the bowel, and waste must be removed from the body through another route." So during the procedure, the surgeon, imagine this is your GI tract, and the surgeon make a cut in either the small intestine or the large intestine, and it brings this end to the surface of our abdominal skin. So this end becomes the stoma, which is the opening of the ostomy, and the stool will come out from this opening. So there are two types of ostomies. One is ileostomy. So in an ileostomy, the surgeon brings a section of the small intestine out to the abdominal surface. So because the content in the small intestine is more liquid, so the stool coming out of ileostomy is more liquid. On the other hand, there's also colostomy. So in colostomy, the surgeon brings out a section of the large intestine because our colon, which is our large intestine, absorbs most of the water. So stool comes out from colostomy is very formed and has an odor, very similar to the stool comes out from our anus. So now we understand what a stoma is. So the next question is, why do people need one, and how do they take care of their stoma? So according to Dr. Jayabo Pandyaraja's article published in Journal of Family Medicine and Primary Care in 2021, cancer, abdominal trauma such as traffic accident, and intestinal perforation, meaning holes in the intestines, are the three main causes. So the ostomy can be permanent, lasting forever, or it can be temporary, only for a few months. So how do people take care of their stoma? How do they handle the stool comes out from their stoma? So they use ostomy bags. So these ostomy bags have a adhesive side, and this adhesive side stick onto the skin, so that when the stool comes out from the opening, it falls in directly to the bag. So there are two types of bags. One is drainable. So when the stool is about 1/3 to half full, the patient will drain this bag into a toilet, and they change the whole bag about every 2 to 5 days. And they can also use a closed-end bag. So once the stool is about 1/3 to half full, they can take out the bag and just toss it away and put a new bag on. And they change the whole system again around every 2 to 5 days. So these bags are actually odor resistant, so people around them should not smell anything unless there's a leak. And these bags are typically covered by health insurance. So now we know what an ostomy is and how people take care of it. Before I close, I like to review the main point. So ostomy is a procedure to create an opening for people who can't pass out their stool normally. And people who have an ostomy may sound unusual, but they can actually live a very normal life. They can exercise, they can work, they can get married, and they can have kids. So now you've known a little bit more about ostomy. So next time if you see someone with an ostomy, you know a little bit about it and you know how it works. Thank you.